We all need a lot of oil in our creators, whether it's for building renegades, making explosive compound, or for this week's trial, which requires a lot of blaze grenades. Now, a lot of people will say, just jump onto Stella Montis and loot loading bay. And I do think that's a good option. It is really good. But I've got one option that I think is better because it's going to give you, on average, more oil and, more importantly, more explosive compound per match. And it gives you some guaranteed spots to get turbo pumps, which break down into a lot of oil back at base. I'm going to show you the route and showcase which things you should break in raid and also out of raid to get the most amount of oil. For example, rocket thrusters. If you break them into synth fuel back at home, you get 2 synth fuel per rocket thruster. If you do it in a match, it's only 1. So there's a little bit of trickery we can do there. I'll show you the loot route. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll also point out some interesting containers you want to keep an eye out. Let's go. The run starts here at wharf. Depending on where you spawn, you could start it from a different direction, but we can get the same spawns. So coming in here, and sometimes find some industrial items on this shelf here, which can include water filters, which does mean oil. So definitely check by here as we come through. This next building is a little bit better, but this is just the start of the run. It will get considerably better as we get into the other buildings. Coming in here, we're going to see a number of red lockers, which are industrial style. So that does mean more oil and explosive compound, as well as springs and stuff. But for this run, we will specifically focus on the oil and explosive compounds. I'll pretty much not loot anything else, just so that we can see what kind of stuff we can get from here. Now, as we come along here, we're going to want to snap. Well, we don't have to snap, but I like to snap. And then up this point, get within 21 meters. Oh, snap up there. Oh, what the? There we go. Got to be under 20 meters to hit that. There's a med bag there. Sometimes those breachables are under there, are lootable. What we want to do is go into this room in this corner where there is a number of red lockers. You probably know about this room. Great spot for oil and explosive compound as well. So definitely stop by here. And then the real run will start in just a second. I'll show you the best route where you can get some really nice stacks of oil. And more importantly, this whole route is really good for killing comets, which is going to give you more explosive compound, more chemicals as well. It's even better for the run. That is also oil. Anything that's like recyclable oil, I put on this side just for the sake of, so you can view what I'm looting and why. Should be pretty straightforward as we go. But now what we're going to do is ignore the turret. Come back down here. There can be a security breach sometimes in that corner, which can mean more explosive compound. And as we come down here, there is also another security breach here, but it didn't spawn. No problem. So now we'll come down this way. We don't have to worry about the shredder. It's not a big deal. Just jump off that way. Underneath here, there can sometimes be ticks down here, so just be careful. Usually 3. But there's a number of breachables that can have oil in. It didn't spawn. Okay, now I'm going to show you a really cool container down here. There's usually always 2 drawers, and they always have turbo pumps inside. Now, turbo pumps are really good because... there we go, turbo pump. And another one in here. Guaranteed every time. I don't know why. I'm going to drop the stuff that we don't need, honestly, just for the... I know that sucks that we're dropping that. Just for clarity of this video. Turbo pumps break down to springs in raid, but if you take them back to your base, they will break down to oil. And each turbo pump gives you 3 oil. So this is 6 oil right here. Pivot-sized fuel also breaks down into oil. It can be put in your quick use slot, so I tend to not break it down until I'm about to leave, because it could mean you can get a bit of extra oil per run. I do need that Berletta though. I will take that. So basically now we're going to loot the shipping containers and get a considerable amount of oil as well. See those oil filters coming in? Oh, you're going to get an angle on me there, aren't you? You need to take out that. In the meantime, we want to be looking for comets, which will be spawning around this area. Also looting as many of these containers as humanly possible. Not everyone is going to have oil in it. It's all just a bit random. The industrial loot pool is quite large, but we'll get quite a lot of recyclable oil items. Also, these containers realistically are really, really good for attachments, believe it or not. I've got horizontal grip here quite a few times. Kinetic converters. Pretty underrated. So now we'll come up through this way. And honestly, I don't really bother with this side too much, just because the number of containers here isn't massive, and it's usually the most frequented side, weirdly enough. Come on through. We just want to do a quick check. This is where a snap hook comes in handy at times, because you can get to the higher level containers a little easier. There's another turbo pump, so that's 3 more. There's the attachment there that, attachments do spawn here. Yeah, that is 3 more oil right there, right? So that's good. Okay, so there's more containers down this way. Gotta check every nook and cranny, and that's how you get the most out of this place. 3 crude explosives there. A lot of people just miss out on a lot of containers because, I mean, it kind of gets a bit confusing. There's more oil there, more explosive compound because of the 3-dimensional aspect of it. There's so many containers on each and every side, and it really does go out to quite a distance. Broken guidance system I will take for my own benefit. It breaks down into 4 processors, so it's a really good way to store processors because it can stack up to 3, which is a stack of 12 processors in your inventory instead of 5 typically. Second here. Oh, this is a big container. Hold up, there's a wasp on us. Let's just deal with that quickly. We missed a little bit there. Okay. Right, there's container. Ah, that's why. Okay, more crude explosives, more explosive compound. Like I said, I'm going to have to leave most stuff. But look, every single angle of one of these containers can have the loot you need. A lot of people will just run about and not know about all these little nooks and crannies, which is where the good stuff comes in. And even if you come up here now, there's another spot down here. We did that one. Okay, yeah, that's both stories here. And we'll come down towards Customs House. Customs House is not bad either. But, did I do that one? The most amount will be found in Stacking Yard itself. There are a number of containers down here that are worth looting. It's the same loot pool, so even though technically we are no longer in, that's oil as well, no longer in Stacking Yard, it's still Stacking Yard loot, really. Same containers. Here we go. Another container here. More oil. As you see, quite a lot. And I feel like the number of... Here's why it's better, right? You have more comet spawns than loading bay. They're easily accessible. Kind of a pain to farm on Stella at times. More containers overall to loot per run. And you've got the guaranteed turbo pump spawns, which is basically, even if you have a bad run, it's still guaranteeing yourself 6 oil off the drop. And you've got the lockers in Port Authority building, which is similar to the lockers in the breach room near loading bay, in essence. But overall, I just feel like the amount of oil we'll get is really quite decent. And you'll see at the end, I'll just do the whole run so you can kind of get an idea of all the different containers that you may not have known exist. Coming up here. Another spot, more oil, more explosives. So you can see like the majority of the loot items in here are either springs, magnets, or oil. That's like the core of it, really. So you're getting those very consistently. If you need springs, come here as well. If you need batteries, it's not terrible either. And of course, magnets is great. And also attachments. Maybe, there's another one there. Maybe we'll get lucky and see a rare attachment, like a horizontal grip. It does happen sometimes, but not always. It's still rare drop chance. Right, coming down here now. There are a few more that we missed on this side, so we could grab those. Oh, look at that. Power descender. I'm going to take that. And these epic boats spawn like crazy here as well. I would pick them up, like I say, but I'm trying to simply keep the loot based on what we're actually doing, right? Oil. That's the whole point. I don't want to... It'll be easier to see later on. Yes, so we're going to leave that ship. Sorry for those that still need it. Spawning quite a lot now since the last project's gone anyway. And there's a couple more spots. You see, a lot of people miss these. Like, they've looted some containers here, but not all of them. Another turbo pump there. That's 3 more oil coming in, which is nice. Okay, gonna have to start dropping some things. That one's been looted. That side's been looted. Okay, so we'll come down here now. And we are only like, we've only done 1/3 of stacking yard, by the way. And visually, you might not see the oil yet. We'll break it down later. There's quite a lot coming in. Quite a lot coming in, right? Just checking that just in case. Okay. I guess, okay, so we're going to break this down when we fill it on space. But you can see that these are the recyclables that break into oil mid-raid, also including the coolant. Turbo pumps will break down into oil at the end once we extract. Synthesized fuel, we can go like this. Like, I can drop those defibs. I don't think anyone's dying. It will just save space, right? We've got one more quick use slot that we can use for that oil. And we'll break it down later if we really need to, but that can stack to 5. So that's a five extra oil per run on average. There's also another one that we'll see from time to time, which is the rocket thruster. And that will break into 1 synthesized fuel mid-raid, but back at the base, it will break down into 2. So look at that. That one container had 4 oil in it, essentially, which is kind of crazy. We are now overweight. We haven't even done 2/3 of it yet. We haven't even done 2/3 of it, and we're already overburdened. It's kind of crazy. I think we have to break down some of these materials in a second. We'll have a look at how much oil we've gotten so far. More containers there. And then usually up there, there's not like a massive amount. So I do kind of just avoid this top part. But if we go this way. Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure for this side. And there we go. We got the whole section over there in between these 2 buildings and more of that side as well. All right, we are overweight, so we are going to break this down. Hold up. We've got some arc to deal with. Let's deal with them quickly. On a normal day raid or a beachcombing event, you've got a lot less arc. So I would suggest day raid. I think beachcombing overall... Oh, that's funny. The firefly blew up on it. Beachcomber overall, you're going to see more metal detectors in there, which could mean less oil a little bit. All right. We are, thanks to reloading the Jupiter ammo, we are now no longer overweight. Okay, we can come in here. There's one in this spot that a lot of people miss, which is a nice one. You know all of the containers. You'll easily loot more containers per run here than on Stella. Even if it does take a tiny bit longer to get to them all. I think overall it's worth it. We didn't even see any comets yet. There's another container there. We should really be frequenting the beach from time to time. Oh, I think that can give us crude explosives, so maybe it's better to break that down on the Pack Esperanza. I'm not sure. Okay. A white flag blueprint. Lovely. Gotta love it. Grab this here. And more metal detectors coming in. Don't need that. So that's what I mean. Like, I think doing this on a day raid would be even better, not a beachcombing. But we are here for now. That's the rocket thruster. So that right here breaks into 1 synth fuel, but back at home, it breaks into 3. So I'd highly recommend taking it back with you. Sorry, not 3, 2. Getting a bit ahead of myself. It is 2, yes. There's a couple more containers over here. All right, we're going to break down this now into oil, and we can start seeing how much oil we've got coming in. All these items I would break mid-raid, honestly. Like so. So that's already 20 oil there. We haven't even broke the synth fuel, the rocket thrusters yet. Or the turbo pumps. And we are not even finished with our run either. Now, people will be frequenting and looting these containers as well, so you won't always get it to yourself. But it's really based on how much time you're spending, right? Even if, like, you can only loot 1/2 of it, you can come back again in twice the speed. So, on average, you're looting the same amount of containers. It will take the same amount of time. Well, with the added time of having to extract, of course. But still, pretty decent. A lot of people come to Riven Tides for farming Ark as well. So, even if other people start looting this map more... there's still going to be a large proportion of people readying up to Riven Tides every second to fight Ark. This one's a bit of a pain. You've got to hold down the forwards button here whilst looting this, or you will fall off. Kind of a weird one. So you're still going to get quite a lot of moments where you're just looting most of it to yourself. And with some experience, you're going to find a lot more containers than most people even know exist, which is great. Could have done like 2 trips to the beach by now and killed the comets, which would have been even more goodies, but it's okay. Like somebody's looted this side. So we'll just have a quick look. See if they've missed any. Seems like they haven't. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. So what you can do is use 1 crude explosive just to throw it at the vape. And then that gives you a chance to escape back under cover. Yeah, we're going to need to do that. I do have a photo cloak as well. We're just going to get out inside a second. We got this whole section of containers to loot as well. Once again, even though it doesn't say this is part of second yard, it's still the same loot, essentially. Right, we're just going to... bunch of med bags around, huh? Don't really need that right now. We just snap hook up to the top. There's a number of different containers, buildings on these inside. So this one you need to open the button, which requires, or the battery room, which requires 2 people to work on. This one is a key room, but this side is not a key room. And whilst there aren't many containers in here to loot, there is a couple. I don't think you're going to get many industrial style items that you're looking for here. So it's not like really worth coming here for oil. But I thought I'd just point that out considering we are here at this time. We've got one more side to do. And we'll take a look at how much oil we've gotten so far. And then we will go and check if there's any comments and leave. One of the great things about Riven-Tides, which I like, just like Stella, is that you can extract really quickly. It's not quite as good as Stella in terms of like, you just spawn in and you can just start looting straight away. You do have to do a bit of walking. But it's still a very compact map, making a great option for getting in and out and doing a quick loot run like this, getting what you need and calling it a day. A lot of these containers this time, unfortunately, didn't spawn. It does happen. It is what it is. It's probably going to be the last container we tap here. And like I say, a lot of Dockmaster's detectors, so this would be even better on a day raid, as I've mentioned. Just check over here. And there's nothing. Right. So we can put that synth fuel in there now. Considering we've got no stims left, we'll drop that. So here we go. Let's have a look. We got 22 oil here. 16 there. That's 28. This is 2 more here, so that's 30. And then this will break down into 15. So that's 45 oil we've gotten already, which isn't bad. Let's say 45 oil. The explosive compound could be more as well if we were to frequent the beach a bit more where the comets spawn. We didn't do it this time. So, yeah, let's go back to the beach now and see if there's any comets. Then we will extract. The seaside elevator is completely fine. I usually just go there. But sometimes I will use a hatch if the seaside elevator has ended. You can just go to the salt sweat patches right there. Gotta be careful of the vape. I feel like there's less arc on average in a beachcombing, so there's the benefit of that. I don't think you really see... that's interesting. You don't really see as many bastions and bombardier spawns, I'm pretty sure. You do have that benefit. Maybe I'm wrong. There's one right there. Perhaps it's quite similar then. So you can see the comet rings here. Obviously, people have been killing them. They do spawn frequently here as well. I think this time we just missed out on it, but you get the point. Pretty good run. Let's get back to Speranza and see how we did. So now that we are here and we have room, let's break down this first. Just visually is a little bit clearer. That is 28 oil there. Right, so we can break these down now, and we'll get the 15 extra oil and the 2 synth fuel. And then we can recycle the synth fuel. And then we have the 15 oil. And we got 7 explosive compounds there. So pretty good. You can take a look through my inventory here. We did a bit of a farm just to test it before. And just from these turbo pumps alone, which just get spawned so much on Riven-Tides, that's another like 36 oil right there. And you get the mechanicals, which is a nice bonus. I think overall, because of the comets, this is a better route, in my opinion, than Stella Montis. And I thought I'd just share it with everybody. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio.